Welcome, everyone. Today we're diving into the complex world of ghosting in relationships. It's that sudden, unexplained disappearance, leaving you, totally confused and, well, heartbroken.
Yep. Really is a silent breakup that can leave you reeling and wondering what went wrong. It's like so modern, yet so painful.
Exactly. Ghosting happens when someone you've been emotionally invested in just stops replying, stops engaging, poof, they're gone. And it really brings up questions about communication and emotional responsibility in our modern dating scene.
Right, and it's especially interesting because while some people see ghosting as a way to avoid an uncomfortable conversation, the fallout is so damaging. You're left wondering about your self-worth.
Yeah, it's, like they vanish into thin air, leaving you with an avalanche of unanswered questions and, sometimes self-doubt that really stings.
Yeah, that's so true. And then on the flip side, we have people who, maybe because they fear confrontation, resort to ghosting even if they do care a bit. It's that avoidance behavior that, ironically, ends up being far more hurtful.
Exactly. Some research even hints that ghosting may, reflect more on the ghoster's inability to face conflict rather than a complete lack of care. But still, regardless of the reason behind it, the impact on the person being ghosted is real.
I think it's critical to recognize that ghosting is a form of passive relational aggression. It's avoidance using silence, rather than engaging with the difficulty of honest conversation.
Uh-huh. And if you've ever been ghosted, you might feel like, your self-worth was suddenly under attack, but it's really more a reflection of the other person's, well, inability to handle confrontation and vulnerability.
Right. Absolutely. And speaking of dealing with the aftermath, the strategies recommended are solid. There's a strong emphasis on self-care, like invest time in exercise, meditation, or even something as simple as a hobby.
Yeah, self-care really stands out. It's like, when you're dealing with that sudden emptiness, you need to, refocus on what's best for you. It's not about blaming yourself. It's knowing that their vanishing act has less to do with your value.
Exactly. They even suggest leaning on your support network, friends, family, therapists. They can help you navigate the pain rather than trudging it out alone, which only amplifies feelings of isolation.
Definitely. It's, crucial to know that suffering alone just intensifies it. When you talk to someone who understands you, it helps regain balance.
Now, on the subject of being the ghoster, it's interesting that the guidelines actually offer tips for people who are tempted to ghost. It suggests that if you feel avoidance taking over, you need to, face your fear of confrontation.
Yes, that part is like really eye-opening. Instead of slipping away, take those small baby steps to start those tough, direct conversations. It's like, building up the muscle of having difficult dialogues.
But here's where I kind of push back a little. Sometimes confrontation can, be really damaging if not approached carefully. While honesty is key, couldn't a direct breakup sometimes feel colder than ghosting?
That's a fair point. And, you're right. If the conversation lacks empathy, it might come off as brutally blunt. But, the idea is to have a balanced, kind approach that values both parties' feelings.
Right. Exactly. It's that balance of honesty and compassion where everything could be transformed into learning and personal growth.
And the article stresses that only by facing fear and validating each other's feelings can we rebuild trust and create more resilient relationships in the future.
Absolutely. Right. Even after the pain of being ghosted, one can move forward by practicing self-compassion and gradually trusting again. It's like, rather than constantly rewinding that ghost moment, focus on nurturing better communication habits.
It's like, instead of obsessing over why they left, channel that energy into understanding yourself more deeply. Feel the feelings. Learn from the hurt.
Yep. And the piece even gives practical resources. There's that link to a 7-minute progressive muscle relaxation exercise, which is a nice touch for helping oneself soothe.
Right, kind of like a mini reset button for the nervous system. It's like, take a moment to literally relax your body, which then helps your mind start to mend.
And beyond just immediate coping strategies, it also touches on the importance of enhancing communication skills for future relationships. It recommends asking clearly for what you need and validating your partner's feelings, which builds a stronger foundation.
Yeah, it's really a two-pronged approach, both for healing from being ghosted and for avoiding becoming a ghoster yourself. Emotional transparency is the key
Right.
here.
But sometimes I wonder, can people really change this habit of ghosting? I mean, aren't some folks just too uncomfortable with conflict to ever have that difficult conversation?
That's a good point. I mean, it might be a deeply ingrained habit for some, perhaps due to past experiences with conflict. So, transforming that behavior does take time, effort, and maybe even guided help from a therapist.
Absolutely. And it's reassuring that the article, coming from a reputable source like, a certified Gottman couples therapist, emphasizes the importance of growth and learning through these challenges.
Exactly. The Gottman approach really underlines that healthy communication and, transparency can strengthen rather than weaken relationships.
Right. I also liked how it distinguishes between feeling hurt and using that hurt as a catalyst for change. Instead of dwelling on the ghost, focus on self-improvement and, better conversation skills for the next relationship.
Right on. It's like turning that painful experience into a stepping stone for personal growth and, deeper future connections.
As we talk about building communication skills, that point about asking for what you need clearly, it's something I think a lot of people struggle with. It's not just ghosting, it's, a broader communication breakdown.
Totally. It's like if you're not clear about your own needs, then, the whole connection can falter, and ghosting might simply be the final nail in the coffin.
And maybe we can see ghosting as a symptom of a bigger issue, the lack of mature communication in many relationships today.
Precisely. It's almost, symptomatic of a culture that prizes avoidance over confrontation. And while it might seem easier in the short term, it really does damage trust in the long run.
Right. So ultimately, embracing vulnerability and honest dialogue could be the antidote to ghosting for both sides.
Exactly. Because when you choose to engage directly with your partner, whether to break up respectfully or to ask for clarity, you honor both your own feelings and theirs.
And while it's not a magic cure-all, developing that kind of communication is a continuous learning process, not just for relationships, but, for ourselves.
Absolutely. It takes courage, a lot of self-reflection, and sometimes even professional guidance to build that kind of skill. But the payoff is relationships that are, more resilient and meaningful.
So, whether you're coping with being ghosted or trying to avoid being the one who ghosts someone, the key takeaway is self-awareness and honest, empathetic dialogue.
Exactly. And it's a journey, one where understanding yourself better can help you build, better connections in the future. Thanks for diving into this tough but oh-so-relevant topic with me.
Right on. Absolutely, it's been a really engaging conversation. I hope our discussion helps someone out there navigate the murky waters of modern relationships a bit more compassionately.